Sainers. The round 12 preview. Saints TV. AFL season. West Coast. In Perth. Saturday. 4:35 p.m. This is going to be interesting. We're underdogs. We're facing a team that's just come off a 99-point demolition, and we're underdogs. And it's not really a surprise. They're a very dangerous team at home. They obviously smashed Melbourne a couple of weeks ago. They beat Freo there. They almost beat Essendon. They're not bad at home. The crowd get up for them. And we're coming into this with 3 straight defeats to Hawthorn, Fremantle and Melbourne. All extremely disappointing games. And I think it's been mounting for a while, this sort of pressure and this sort of impatience from the fan base. And it came to a head on Sunday afternoon at the MCG. So it is 16th v 15th. We lose this. We go to 16th. They go to 15th. So it's just a, shuffle around. If it happens, we're both 3-8. Last time we played them, it was a very, very close game. We got away just by 8 points, and that was at Optus. So, even if we were going into this game in red hot form, we still would have been pretty nervous about it because we just don't know how to put teams like West Coast away when they're down. They've got Harley Reid. They've got some very good players in form. Obviously, they are 16th, but Liam Duggan's been really good for them. Tim Kelly, Elliot Yeo, obviously back to form. Jake Waterman, who's been unreal and kicked a lot of goals, like top 5 in the Coleman. Jeremy McGovern's kind of back to his best. Jamie Cripps is good. Obviously, I mentioned Harley Reid. He's going to be one to watch in the midfield, whether we tag him or not. I'm not sure. Obviously, Jinby's pretty good. Barras does his job down back. And obviously, Jack Darling, Liam Ryan. Those are 2 that have haunted Saints fans for a long time because they always seem to get hold of us, especially Darling. At least there's no Kennedy there to rip us a new one because that would have been a lock, like a guarantee to happen. But that's the lineup. In terms of ins and outs for us, Brad Crouch, Hunter Clark, Dan Butler, to name a few, could be included. I feel like I'm missing someone else there, but Tim Embry obviously kicked 6 in the VFL. You'd think if we really want to go into this game and win it, you'd bring all 4 in. I'm still not sure if we will. I just have a weird feeling that we won't. Obviously, there's Garcia, who's been in good form. Jack Hayes is now injured again, which is really disappointing, so we're not going to see him for a while. And yeah, depends on, Collard, Sharman, if they did enough last week, I'm not really sure. I think there's a lot of players there that, wouldn't surprise me if they're dropped. Just because of how poor we've been. So it's probably the hardest game for me to preview this year just because I don't even know what we're going to get. And honestly, if I think glass half full, I'm thinking we win, but who gives a shit because it's West Coast. And then if I'm thinking maybe glass half empty and maybe more realistic, it's a 50-50 game based on form, based on the location. It's probably... The fact that it favours West Coast maybe is not a surprise to any one of us because of the fact that they've been in decent form at home. They get a big crowd there. It'll be 40,000 plus probably on a Saturday afternoon in Perth. I'm not sure what the weather's like. Let's just double check. Perth weather. Yeah, a bit of wet weather football could be on. Afternoon showers, 24, so... not that it really matters. We played in pristine conditions on Sunday and we played it like a wet weather game, so it honestly means shit all. But I think we just want to see some identity, don't we? I think that's, if I'm being really sort of top line about it, it's, forget the fact we want to win this game. We need to win this game. It's about the way we go about it. And if we're going to not make finals this year, which is looking likely, being 3-8, let's just be real, then we need to be building into the off-season, building into next season. And if the game plan or whatever we've done in the first 11 weeks hasn't worked, I know Ross has alluded to it, there will be a bit of a change. We are going to alter things. We are tinkering. Then we need to continue to tinker because I don't want to stick to the same game plan for the rest of the year, see it fizzle out, we finish 15th or whatever, and then we go into next season and we're hoping in the off-season we'll sort it out. We should be starting to resolve things now. We might not do it in enough time to make finals, obviously. 3-8, you're behind the 8 ball big time. Only Carlton and Giants last year were really the two teams ever to really come back and do that. And they made prelims, so it can be done, but different lists, different time, different clubs, obviously. But I want to be seeing Nasiah up the ground a little bit more. I want to see Sinks back to halfback. Bonner maybe up the ground more. Naz and Sinks back, like what we talked about in the podcast. Put Machito in the midfield. Put him on Harley Reid. Just put him head to head with the next young gun. Learn off each other. He'll take him to the ball, be contested. Let's see Harley Reid try and put a fend off on Machito. Let's just invite that sort of excitement. Make it a bit of a heated contest that way. That's the sort of stuff I want to be seeing in this game. I think Max King can be the difference, obviously. I thought last couple of weeks, even Fremantle, he was flying for things, didn't get the scoreboard pressure. Last week, he got the scoreboard pressure, kicked 3 goals, 15 disposals, a couple of marks. I think he's building, and he has a very good track record against West Coast. He's kicked 6s and 5s against them in 3 or 4 of the last time, 2 of the last 3 or 4 times he's played them. So he's going to be a massive factor for us. Obviously, Jack Steele, Naz, Sinks, they've all been in pretty good form, accumulatively, getting a lot of the ball, getting a lot of numbers, looking really good in Supercoach and AFL Fantasy, but it's not really translating to any sort of positional advantage on field. I'd rather Naz get 20 and he's more direct than 27, 28, 30, and he's chipping it sideways and taking the easy option. It's a big ground. It's Optus Stadium. It's very spacious on the wings. Let's use Brad Hill. Let's use Mason Wood. Let's get Darcy Wilson into the game more. And let's just continue to find Max King and to hone in on that delivery going inside 50. I know I'm probably asking for too much too soon, and it's going to be a step-by-step thing based on the form we're in, but things can change quickly. Maybe being underdogs against a team like West Coast away from home is something that'll weirdly turn things around, but that's, again, glass half full, and based on the season so far, you'd say that that's more unlikely than likely. But it is in a weird way a big game, because I think at the end of this game, I will really, and I think a lot of us will really, really know what the direction for the rest of the year is going to be. If we come out and we beat them comfortably, okay, we want to go in, then we can kind of not settle, but we kind of know, okay, we're not really throwing the season away that quickly. If we get pumped by West Coast and we look at as insipid as we did for most of the last month, then we really do need to reassess what could potentially happen in the second half of the year when we play a lot of good teams. I know they're at Marvel, but it is supposedly the easiest draw. I don't think so, because it's Brisbane, Sydney, there's Adelaide and Adelaide there, Port Adelaide, I think, again, Carlton, Essendon again. That doesn't look that easy to me. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, every game is hard. We're underdogs against West Coast. Who gives a shit if the fixture's easy or not? That's just, that's subjective. But yeah, I just want to see some heart. I want to see us take the game on. Pretty much the opposite of what we've seen in the last month. I'd love to see that. We want to get some games into the kids, but at the same time, I still want to win this game, and I still want to see that reflected in the ends. We need to take this game seriously, West Coast or not. They're good at home. They're favourites for a reason, and it's a game that I want us to go and win. And I'm hoping we have that approach and that ruthless edge, that if we can get a bit of a run on, that we don't put the foot on the brakes. We just keep going, because I think that sort of momentum can shift games and shift the season, because once you start kicking goals, it just becomes easier. Then it becomes more instinctive, more second nature, and then hopefully that translates into more free-flowing football for the rest of the year. But that's my 2 cents on the game. Saying, comment your thoughts. I know everyone's kind of shitting themselves because they're like, great, wouldn't be surprised if we lose. But yeah, comment your thoughts. Let me know maybe what your ins and outs should be tomorrow night when they come out. And I'll be back live after the game on Saturday night. So stay tuned, Saners. The podcast is out. Thanks to everyone for watching it already, listening to it, and putting in comments and welcoming Ari and Sammy on board and being really kind about it. I'm stoked with the reception. So thanks again, Saners. And I'll see you after the game on Saturday. But until then, take care of yourselves. And as always, go you mighty Saners. See you guys.